How's your Food World Order Wednesday going? Hope it's doing well. You need to warm up there, sweetie? We can come around and give you what you need. And you know what you need? You need the latest installment of your Mounsey Minute, my friends. We began in January of this year with our buddy up in Canada, Gavin, Mounsey.substack.com, of doing a monthly installment where he talks about all kinds of awesome things that you can do for yourself in your kitchen, at your home, to reach food sovereignty. So this is our 7th installment, Mounsey Minute, Episode 7, Radioprotective Foods on the radio.
This is Gavin Mounsey for Media Monarchy. I'm author of Recipes for Reciprocity, The Regenerative Way from Seed to Table, and this is the Mounsey Minute. Hey everyone, this month we're going to be talking about radioprotective foods that are foods, herbs, and mushrooms that will help protect your cells against artificial forms of radiation. Now, whether that's ionizing radiation, like that comes from a nuclear reactor or a nuclear weapon, or non-ionizing radiation, like those that come from smart devices, cell phones, routers, 5G towers, and all those wonderful Elon Musk satellites floating around in the sky. There's certain foods you can eat that help your cells to be able to either mitigate the damage of the radiation coming in or to regenerate faster than the damage that's being done. One thing I think it's important to clarify is that when people think of EMFs, or electromagnetic fields, the term's often been demonized now because we have all these forms of technology that are putting out detrimental forms of radiation. But it's important to note that we are electromagnetic beings. Our heart and brain produce electromagnetic fields that are part of our natural body's function. The Earth produces an electromagnetic field that actually aligns with our fields and helps us to have a stable function of homeostasis. And there are other beneficial forms of radiation we depend on, such as sunlight. So what we're talking about here is protecting your body against artificial forms of radiation and actually helping your cells to be able to align with beneficial forms of radiation or electromagnetic fields coming from the Earth. I created a detailed post on Substack that goes through some of the forms of artificial radiation that pose detrimental impacts to our cells. And it also goes into a long list of all the foods that can offer our cells tools to be able to mitigate the damage of those forms of artificial radiation or to regenerate our cells faster than the damage being done. You know me and my permaculture design mentality, I'm always finding ways to stack functions. So when it comes to radioprotective foods, there's a bunch of recipes that I have in my first book, Recipes for Reciprocity, and some I'm going to be putting in my next book that are really just delicious and fun meals to enjoy that also protect your body against artificial forms of radiation while optimizing other parts of your body like your brain function and your heart function. So what I'll do is I'll list a few of the foods first that are some of the most potent radioprotective foods, and then I'll list a few of the recipes I have in my book and provide links to them in the show notes. First up on the radioprotective foods list is seaweed. Kelp, nori, dulse, and other sea vegetables contain iodine-127. Iodine-127 will prevent the body from absorbing radioactive iodine-131, and it also provides the body with antioxidants, which helps protect cells against artificial forms of EMFs. 2. Spirulina and chlorella. Species of blue-green algae such as spirulina and chlorella contain a really high amount of antioxidants as well as a high amount of chlorophyll. Those two things in conjunction help to ameliorate or prevent chromosome aberrations, DNA fragmentation, sperm abnormalities, and alteration to your cells by exposure to radiation. 3. Miso paste. 4. Aloe vera. 5. Sulfur-rich vegetables such as broccoli, kale, and cabbage, especially when fermented. 6. Wood ear mushroom, aka jelly ear fungus. This one, interestingly, the radioprotective compound is melanin, and melanin is the pigment that's responsible for the dark coloration in human skin, which also serves the function of protecting against UV radiation. 7. Tulsi, or holy basil. 8. Echinacea, or coneflower. 9. Turmeric. 10. Ginger. 11. Goji berries. 12. Hot peppers. 13. Yarrow. 14. Anthocyanin-rich foods, such as elderberry, black goji berry, Saskatoon berries, service berries, purple cabbage, and other purple-skinned fruits and vegetables. And last but not least, 15. Probiotic-rich foods, such as kimchi, sauerkraut, and miso. If you go to my post on Substack, you'll find other radioprotective foods listed and information given on the radioprotective mechanisms of each individual food. And now for a few recipes from my book that contain a high amount of radioprotective foods. First up, Amaranth seed Trail of Tears and Hokkaido black soybean miso paste. 2. Purple dragon chi. 3. Vegetable borscht. 4. a soup recipe from Laos called Vegetarian Khao Poon. And last but not least, 5, Thai roasted sweet potato, carrot, and ginger soup. I'll also be sharing a recipe next month that's going to be going to my next book, which is an upgraded version of my kimchi called Golden Dragon Chi. I hope this inspires you to be able to step up your health sovereignty, even in the midst of an increasingly radioactive world. If we use food as medicine, we can protect our bodies and we can increase our culinary creativity and joy along the way. Well, that's it for me this month, guys. Wishing you all increased resilience and health sovereignty.
Well, I buy the Sunday papers every Saturday night. Look forward to tomorrow, everything seems right. Seems like I'm smiling from my head down to my shoe. My baby loves me and no blues is good news. Well,
Our 7th Mounsey Minute, my friends, Radioprotective Foods on the radio. Again, a huge, ginormous thanks to our buddy Gavin Mounsey for giving us fantastic news that we can use. And again, as I've been kind of depressed lately about the role and the place of media monarchy on alternative media, I'm not doing anything for anybody anymore. This is doing stuff for people. Huge thanks to Gavin Mounsey. And now for the second month in a row, what I'm going to do is put together his show notes into a text file, which then I link off my site. So when you scroll to Media Monarchy on this episode, July 24th, 2024, scroll down to your Mounsey Minute, you'll see the link for the MP3 and the TXT. And I will include the main link, Radioprotective, Radiomitigative, and Radiomodulatory whole foods and naturally occurring plant and fungal compounds. And of course, as always, this gets the conversation going in the Media Monarchy chat. This dude is a trove of useful information. Nature-based makes you stronger? Huh, who'd have thunk that? And my own stupid notes, of course, Magnetic Fields and their Fame album 69 Food Songs. They note in the chat also, I always take spirulina and chlorella whenever I fly or get x-rays, which of course sometimes are the same event. Miso is good for radiation sickness as well. So you guys, I took chlorella and spirulina for probably around a decade after Fukushima when we were still up in the Pacific Northwest, and I will still take it every now and then as well. Cool segment with good foods. I'm very pro-fermentation and have changed a lot about my health through eating those foods. I don't know about the radioprotective qualities, though, and again, this might become more important depending on where you are on this ball Earth. Maybe folks in the East Coast, not so much. Maybe folks down here around in, New Mexico, Trinity Site, nuke blast territory might be a good idea for us. Difficult to source clean chlorella and spirulina these days. I'd imagine it's difficult to source clean anything these days. Daisies mutating up in the Pacific Northwest after Fukushima, they note in the chat, and also the East Coast has a lot of obese folks.